What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Good, The Bad and The Stupid. It's Wednesday, the 18th of March. It's a podcast, it's a video, it's lots of little videos. I'm going to keep saying that because more people are coming. If you're new to the show, you can watch, you can listen, you can turn it off. You can do everything. You're in control. You're in control of your own life. Well, you're not at the moment because the virus is in control of fucking all of us at the moment, but you're in control of what entertains you in your four walls where you're going to be staying for the next few weeks or months or whatever it's going to take to deal with it, because it's only a matter of time before the lockdown comes here. I think it's happening in all the European countries, so if we start seeing a big increase, then we're going to get locked down. I've started early. I've had a right boring day today. Hands up if you've been on the phone all day. Online banking, fucking bastards. Not bastards, bastard phone line. That's what I meant. Because I've been on the phone all day and I've not even spoke to anyone. I give up in the end. Hours I was on for two different things. Oh, sorry, beg your pardon. I did get through to one, and she put me on hold for about 20 minutes and then said she'll call me back, and it took 3 hours for her to call me back, and she still hasn't sorted out the problem because everybody's doing the online stuff, ain't they? So I do take it back calling them bastards. They must be rushed off the feet, but still, nobody wants to go in the branch today. They said go in the branch. I said I went in the branch yesterday. All the tellers weren't there. They told me to fucking come back home and ring you. So anyhow, but there's lots of handouts coming. The big money, if you can get a chunk of that 350 billion that's been going to be handed out. Fuck knows where that's come from. Magic Money Tree has just fucking done a, what's it called? James, what's that? Oh, what's the fucking James and the Giants? The Jack and the Beanstalk, sorry. He's just done a beanstalk out the ground and shot up and sprouted £350 billion. That's fucking pretty cool. So yeah, if you're struggling and you can have a little piece of that, then that's going to take the worry off, isn't it? I just want them to stop maybe making so you ain't got to pay the rent or the bills and that for a couple of weeks. That's my kind of holiday. I'll be sitting in the fucking house with my hands behind my head on a lie-low, like I'm in the swim, like I'm lying on the beach. Heating on, put your fucking swim shorts on or whatever, lie in front of the TV. You know what I mean? Like you're on holiday, pretend you're in the sun. Get the cocktails out. You'll have to find alternative toilet roll to fucking use, but apart from that, everything will be, as it should be. Speaking of it, all those people who were panic buying the toilet rolls, we spoke up yesterday that there's no reason to, because there's fucking endless supplies of it. Apparently, the suppliers have said, but you should be panic buying. Here's a top tip for you. For you alone, the idiots panic buying the toilet roll. Top tip: you should be panic buying bread instead, sliced bread, because when the worst comes to the worst, you can wipe your ass on that as well. And worst even still, you could eat it if you really were desperate. All you got to do is maybe wash it or smother it in Marmite or something. It might make it edible after you've used it for the toilet. That's for you alone, because you know why? Because you've not gone out and bought any food. You've just bought toilet roll, and that's your fault. We've got all the food, and we're having a fucking buffet. We're just, we're thinking of alternative measures for the toilet roll. But I'll tell you who's got it, and I don't mind the one kid. There's a kid who's bought loads of toilet rolls, bought 70 or 80 toilet rolls. Young kid, about 15 years old. I've lost the thing now. Here he is. And he's been delivering them to all his old neighbours, and he's been handing them out for free. Has he been handing them out for free? I don't know if he's handing it out. He's been delivering it to them anyway. So he's bought them for the old people who can't get them. So I'm going to give him a pass. The milkman's been delivering them as well. He's been handing out loo roll, collecting prescriptions, and even changing light bulbs. They're milking it a little bit. Come on, he's the milkman. You can't. Hang on a minute. You any good at fitting washing machines? What about fucking cleaning kitchen floors? Anything else? What about plumbing? Any good at that? They're out there fucking milking his kindness. Some of them old people, they're I'm going to say they're as stupid as they look. They don't look stupid, but I used to remember there was a little old lady who lived by me, and she used to always collar me to go to the shops for her, always to get her fags, and I did it every time because she was so sweet. But I never ever, half the time I never wanted to go, but I couldn't refuse. Anyway, there was another bloke, and this is the best one of them all. But he's doing it. He's a businessman. He's a cafe owner, and he's been offering he's a cafe. As I've just said that. He's been offering a complimentary toilet roll with every breakfast that they buy. So you buy a breakfast, you get a free toilet roll with it. You probably need it after one of his breakfasts as well. I can't imagine it's a full English. Actually, they might be quite nice. Actually, it looks quite nice. I'm dissing people today, aren't I? No, I'm giving him benefit of the doubt, actually, because that's a really clever business move. Free toilet roll with a breakfast. How about a free breakfast with a toilet roll? Buy the toilet roll for 50p, you can have a free £5 breakfast. No, don't work that way, mate. But there's another way around that, because they're allowing pubs and restaurants to become takeaways. Because the pubs and that, they've got to find ways of making money, haven't they? So the pubs who serve food and whatever, they can do takeaways, so you can get shit delivered. And Wetherspoons, get on your $2.99 breakfast. Wetherspoons are going to be all over that. And plus they get a lot of old customers anyway, but they're going to be on the fucking phone's going to be off the hook. £2. They're the cheapest food in town, aren't they? It's shit, but it's cheap. It's all right for a one-off. You know, and they do vegan food. You know, I don't know how they do their prices. They're rough. The guy's fucking must be Jesus. He's like, he's feeding everybody on with next to no money. He's buying the food and he's selling it cheaper than he's bought it for, or very close to. But he's got a business plan that nobody's been able to match. But they do vegan food and everything as well, because I don't eat meat. So what about it? Anyway, that because of these fucking viruses come from eating meat, for starters. I certainly don't eat bats. Don't ever go near a bat. There's a lot of fucking foods in China, those countries, that shouldn't be even thought of as food. It's ridiculous. Anyway, but that's another day. That's for another day. Bob Geldof is blasting social media. Bob Geldof has been blasting trolls on social media because he gets a lot of shit. I bet he gets a load of shit on there anyway. But I've had a few. Yeah, he said everything needs an editor because they're nasty fuckers on that. I must admit that somebody called me a sad cunt the other day because I put a joke on Facebook, and I don't know him, and he's calling me a sad cunt, and he's a big fat, because I went through his photos, he's got a big fat man with a banjo. A big fat man with a beard and a banjo, you know, real fucking hillbilly and looking guy. And his profile photo is a naked, like, 20-year-old girl, like, from behind with a, like, very nice arse, I must add. And so I said, nice arse. I can't remember what I said now, but I made a reference to it not being his arse, basically. And he's calling me a sad bastard. Anyway, that's what you get. And somebody else also had a go at me for slagging off Joe Pasquale. I wasn't slagging off Joe Pasquale. It's because I said that Joe Pasquale must have dreamt or must have been imagining that he saw a UFO when he said that he saw a UFO when he was out walking his dog. And then the guy said, and then afterwards you said that you'd saw a UFO. What's your problem? I'm going to get YouTube to take your video down. I'm like, oh, fucking hell. Doesn't mean, just because I said Joe Pasquale didn't see a UFO, doesn't mean there aren't UFOs. I have saw one, I told you. I saw one with everybody in my road. And everybody in my road, I don't know anymore, so I can't get in touch with them to confirm that with you. But still, it was a UFO at that point in time. And anyway, and it was for jokes. I did it for a laugh. Get Joe Pasquale to... If Joe Pasquale's got a problem, get him to get in touch with me. I'd love to speak to him. He's got a funny voice. Anyway, let's move it on to Star Trek. William Shatner says he's never been able to do the Vulcan greeting. The Vulcan, Dr. Spock's Vulcan thing with his hand. He doesn't have to, does he? That's not his thing. That's Dr. Spock's thing. You do Captain Kirk's thing. You know, like give the orders out. Nobody can give the orders out the way Captain Kirk did. He ran that. That was a tight ship. I can't remember. I was going to try and remember one now. I should have thought of one beforehand. But he ran a tight ship on there. He gave out the orders, and everyone. Yes, Mr. Zulu. Mr. Zulu? No, Mr. Zulu. Yes, Captain Kirk. I don't know. Mr. Zulu. He used to say Mr. Zulu. Scotty, do this. You know, it was the orchestrator, and it worked well. I think they only did 2 seasons, if I remember rightly. Anyhow, but Dr. Spock, that's the coolest name going in it. Dr. Spock. I don't think you can. There's nobody with a better name than that. That name would win over any lady in a first date situation, wouldn't it? What's your name? Dr. Spock. And it just sounds cool, but she'd be like, I don't know what my Spock is, but would you have a look at it for me, Doc? How about it? Because that name was like rings around my head, rings around my ears, and I want to hang about with a Dr. Spock until you see him and realise he's got strange ears and does a strange weird salute, and he can knock you out just by touching your neck. I don't know if it works with his mouth, getting on the love bite. That's probably like one of the best sex toys you're going to ever have. Dr. Spock giving you a love bite. Anyway, you'll never know, he's dead. So, and Captain Kirk's 89. Well, William Shatner. He's funny. He's the king of cheese at the moment. William Shatner, I keep seeing him in like really funny, cheesy situations. Like he makes fun of himself. There's a great horror film, a Christmas horror film. I can't remember what that's called either. You have to check it. But he plays a radio thing. Like he's on the radio, the town's radio, and like he's sitting on his own, like giving like these little speeches in between the records. A bit like on they do on the Warriors. The Warriors, the lady. Anyhow, but he's funny. It's just cheesy little lines where everyone's getting murdered and everything. Classic. I'm not a fan. He's all right. I'm not really a fan of Star Trek anyway. I'm just a fan of fucking. I like the clothes on it, and I like the strangeness of it. I like and I like Dr. Spock. Anyway, Brits' meals are 3 times a healthy portion size. Around half of us eat meals that are 3 times the size of a healthy portion. Come on, have you been to America? They know about portion sizes. They're not the fucking England. You joking? I usually feel shortchanged when I get like a Sunday roast. They've got a Sunday roast picture up there, and that looks the bollocks. That's they don't come served to me like that. I tell you that. The only time I've ever got a Sunday roast that has beaten anything that comes out of America is when you go to a carvery, and that's another one that's like a Wetherspoons. You don't know how they do it because it's like cheap. It's like something like $5.99, and you've just got like free reign at the buffet. And I've piled up my carveries, and I've even like I won't leave it as well. I have to make sure I finish the whole lot, so I'm almost to piss myself off by the end of it. So that's where they get you, because you think you're clever, piling your fucking plate up really high, and then and I'm determined to eat it all, and then I make myself feel sick, so I get fucking angry at myself afterwards. But why not? It's one-offs, isn't it? But apart from that, I don't think we do. I don't really see large portions, especially some of them restaurants where the money. That's the other end of the scale. $5.99, massive portion. Then restaurants where it's like a fortune for the meal, and it comes and like you can't even see it. It's always invisible. It's just like a few little attractive looking things on the plate, and you're going, yeah, well, I want to eat it, not like applaud the artwork. But them American ones, I mean, great when you go on holiday over there, but you've got to kind of watch yourself, haven't you? Because the portion sizes are massive, they're brilliant. It's like being in fucking, it's like being on holiday every time you go into a restaurant. But I imagine that's why they got fat problems like we got fat problems. Everyone's got fat problems. It's not just America. But they're just what they're called. They enjoy food. They enjoy fast food, but it's all changing now. They're the forefronts of the healthy movement as well. Apparently in California, they're very, very much heading towards vegan restaurants, and it's the capital, I imagine, of veganism. healthy eating, healthy. Maybe not in some of the smaller towns where they've just got like a fucking cow between two buns, a tail sticking out the one end, and the horn sticking out the other. That's a cow burger. Or like the Desperate Dan. Remember that, the Desperate Dan, the Desperate Dan pie burger. What are they called? Cow pie. Like that. Anyway, where am I going? Well, there's some women who need to check themselves. They're trying to get the bums like Kim Kardashian, and they could be risking their lives, an expert said, because they're taking pills. Products from as little as $7.99 often claim to be clinically proven, but lack of regulation means they can't. So they're taking pills because they think it'll turn their arse to look like Kim Kardashian's. I don't think so. The only pill that's going to make you look in the mirror and think that your arse has just turned into Kim Kardashian's is fucking LSD. You can't take pills to make that shit happen. You can't take pills to fucking put on weight. That's like going to Willy Wonka, that isn't it? You got to eat food. But she's got a big round pert bum, hasn't she? So, you know, she's that built. She's that kind of build, and that's her thing, isn't it? It's probably natural. You know, for you, if you're skinny and you want to go for it, you've got to get down to one of them fucking fast food restaurants, like I said, put the weight on, and then somehow trim weight from different parts of your body. That's a weird, because she's got a big booty. You know, great figure. Anyway, who am I? Do what you like. Take your pills. Ignore, but you're being ripped off is all I'm trying to say. Listen to me. I've got no idea what I'm talking about, so don't take my advice. Do as you please. A goldfish was only 2 inches when it was won at a fun fair prize, and now it's a foot long and eating all its mates. That's like one of the success stories. I don't think any goldfish I've ever won at a fair as a kid, it didn't even make it home. It was like dead before I got it fucking in the front door. One time, because the bag had burst, granted, and it had suffocated in the bag by the time I got it back, and I didn't notice. But other times, they don't survive too long. But that guy is massive. He's like, he can't even turn around in that tank. He's that big. It's huge. He's devouring all the other fish. So what are the guys going to do with it? Is it a carp? It must have turned into a carp or something. They don't want to give a carp, would they? But that's unusual. I suppose can it grow to the tank then? Because usually you put them in the little round one, don't you? Is it like a plant, so it just stays within its size if you put it in a small thing? Because if that was in the round one, it'd have bust out, and it was like, no, he'd have made his escape. He could have been off. It's, you know, no fish wants to be in a tank, does it? So he could have been off, escape. He wouldn't have breathed. He would have had to live near the sea or live near a pond to really make use of his escape. Otherwise, he'd be dead, wouldn't he, before we get out the front door. Right, I think we'll finish up on one more thing. Have we got one more thing? Curling tongues, no, 2 more things. Curling tongues for sailors' wigs, a mop and a bucket, and still full bottles was among artefacts recovered from HMS Invincible, a 74-gun warship sunk in the English Channel in 1758. I don't know why I've said that one. I've got absolutely nothing to say on that. Curling tongs for sailors' wigs. That's what interested me. Why do sailors have wigs? Who are they trying to impress while they're out on the road? I know, like, when you see Dr. Hook, I was going to say, he's got a good name as well. Dr. Hook, he's got a good name. Remember Dr. Hook, the country and western? For some reason, as a kid, I used to love listening to Dr. Hook till I was about 10. If you're in love with a beautiful woman. Or Sexy Eyes, that was another one, wasn't it? They were good, really good. I don't know why that hit home onto my council estate in Birmingham. Fucking found me. Touched me. Anyway, sailors apparently wore wigs. Out on the windy seas, I tell you what, I bet half of them lost them. They're kind of like... It'd be funny if you found a wig turn up on the seashore and it turned up to be, that would be interesting, from 1758, and it's been floating around, because all this plastic, all the shit that's washing up on the shores is fucking plastic. There was a thing on David Attenborough with a load of rubber ducks, a container, apparently thousands of containers fall into the sea, every year as well, and one of them was one full of rubber ducks. Irony, and they all just floated all over the place, and then they turned up years and years later. They're still out there. They're still out there. So that's a good fucking fun fair game. If you can go out and collect them all with the hooks on the ducks, that'll give you something to do. Right, last one. Stanley Johnson, Boris Johnson's dad, has. I should have said this one earlier. I do the serious stuff at the beginning, but anyway, Stanley Johnson, who's Boris Johnson's dad, has said on TV that he's going to go to the pub if he needs to go to the pub. He said people who run pubs need a little bit of people, don't they? And that's in stark contrast to what his son, said yesterday and warned people not to do. He's come out and said the total opposite. So he's fucking not doing him any favours, is he? He's like a bit of a fucking dumb statement, because Boris Johnson's trying to tell everybody to have some common sense and don't go this place. And his dad's going, fuck him, I'm going down the pub. That's where I belong. I've already got my seat, I've got my name. Everybody knows me. Stanley Johnson's the name. Boris's dad. Everybody wants to talk about my son. And now they're going to be holding him to it. So if I was him, I would not, well, if I was him, I'd just not go near the TV, because he's obviously somebody with a loose lips to sink ships, and he's going to sink Boris's ship if he fucking comes out with any other stuff on the sly, because you never know what Boris is telling him. You know, he's probably saying to him, "Nah, go on, carry on, Dad. It's fine. We're just going to get all the other no marks to do what we tell them." So you can't have it one rule for one and one rule for your father. That's what I'm trying to say. Right. I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again tomorrow. See you later. Bye.